Hey, welcome to a new weekend masterclass, and today I am going to show you how to use references. References are very handy when creating applications because they link different properties, different data items to one another. And by using references, you get a strict link between one another. So how am I going to show you this today? I am going to show you how to create a reference in your data model. After that, I'm going to create user flows with the different data items. And I'm also going to create a user flow where these referenced data items are linked to one another. So you can see how they interact with each other. Let's go to the designer. In this case, we are going to create companies with departments and employees. So that means that we're going to create 3 data items, one for a company, one for a department, and one for an employee. So let's start with the company. And of course, companies have names. Company name. Okay. We also have departments. And departments also have names. And like I said, we also have employees. And surprise, surprise, an employee also has a name. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to link an employee to a department and a department to a company. And of course, you could say like, okay, the department, I fill out the company name there as well. But what could happen is that your users type a different name as a company, they make typos. So to eliminate that, you can use references. So instead of typing in the company name, they can just select the company that they want to link it to. And to show you how this works, I've created a small example of how that would look. So as you can see here, we've got a company, and a company can have one or more departments, and one department can have one or more employees. And as you can see here, employee 1 works for department 1 and works for a company. However, employee 7 works for department 2, but also works for the same company. How does that work in Triggre? Well, let's connect one to the other. So like I said, we have employees, and we are going to link those to departments, and we're going to do that with references. So we click reference, and Triggre asks you to which data item do you want to reference to? Well, in this case, we want to reference it to a department. So the property name in this case is department. However, as we also saw in the sketch, a department can be linked to multiple employees, but one employee can only work for one department. And that's what Triggre asks you as well. So an employee can have one or more than one department. So how does it relate? Well, in this case, a single employee can only have one department. So we click next. The other way around, department can have one or more than one employee. So the question is, how does department relate to employee? Well, as you can see here, we have 2 options. A single department can only have one employee, or a single department can have more than one employee. So we select the second option. A single department can have more than one employees. Of course, this reference is available at department as well, so we need to name it there as well. In this case, we're talking about employees, so we're going to name it employee. So now you see a line between employee and department. And you can see that an employee is linked to a department, but when I open up department, it's linked to an employee, which is a list, so it can be one or more. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to link the company to the department. So we go back to reference again, we click next, and we would like to reference this company to department. Company can have one or more than one department. So we go for option 2, a single company can have more than one department. The other way around, we also have to decide how departments relate to companies. Is it a single department can only have one company, or a single department can have more than one company? If you think about the departments in your own company, for instance, you have your finance department, it's only linked to your own company. It's not linked to one of your competitors, for instance. So a single department can only have one company. And of course, we need to name it. So the property for this reference at department will be called company because the department is linked to a company. And again, you can see that Triggre created a thin line between company and department, where department is the list at company, and at department itself, it can only be linked to one company. And here you can see nicely the difference between companies and employees at department, because you can see a company is a single company, but it has a list of employees. So now we've set up the data model. Let's first create some user flows for the single data items. And after that, I will create a user flow which links the 3 data items together. So let's create a user flow. So what we do in this case is we add user flows using the wizard. We create it for the company. And as you can see, Triggre sees that departments is a reference, and it would like to know how you can select, by which property you can select department for this company. In this case, we only have one property, namely the department name. But you can imagine that you could have an ID or a number or an address or, well, any other property that you can think of. But in this case, we choose department name. We create a page to add, edit, and delete. We order it by company name. We call that companies. And we do the same for departments and for employees. So departments. And departments has 2 different references, namely the company, and we also have employees. And we order the items here as well. We call it department. Finally, we also add the employees. And like I said, employees are linked to departments. So we show them as department name. Next. Department and employees. Smallest, smallest. Employees. Okay. So now we've created user flows for the single data items. But what I would like to show you is how you can easily select an employee and see what the company is. Or the other way around. select a company, after that select a department, and then see which employees are linked to that company's department. For that, we are going to create an empty user flow. And let's call it link it all together. We're going to add a new page. Linked together. And what we are going to do is we are going to create or change the layout of this page. We're going to click the edit button over there, and we are going to add a for layout item. And you can see here that Triggre creates 4 compartments where we can add information or data. And it also always goes from left to right and from top to bottom. So this is, let's say, item number 1, this is item number 2, item number 3, and item number 4. And something to keep in mind is that, let's say we put companies in section number 1, in item number 1, we can use companies in item number 2 as well. However, not the other way around, because then you can get cross-reference links. It gets very complicated, so that's why we don't allow that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to add companies in box number 1, item number 1. We're going to add departments in number 2. We're going to add employees in item number 3. And we're going to keep item number 4 empty in this case. So we are going to add a table with all the companies. Show every company based on the company name. Of course, we sort it because we always sort stuff. Okay. So this was the easy part. Now we're going to add departments. But what we want is we only want to show the departments that you've linked to the company that you selected in item number 1. So we're going to add a whole block, a table, and in this case we are going to show data from the user flow, because we want to show data that has been selected in the table of the user flow. Going to add next. And we would like to show data. We would like to show the departments of the selected company in the table on the top left of this current page. So that's this section over here. So we select it. And we show the department name. At item number 3, we would like to show the employees which are linked to the department which is linked to the company. So in this case, we add a whole block, a table, data from the user flow again, the current page, and not the top left, but in this case the top right, because we want to select the department and the employees that are linked to it. And we have the employee name. I'm going to sort that. Done. Okay. What we also can do in item number 4, by the way, is to add some details, the entire details of the employee, to show you how they're all linked together. So we're going to add a stacked item, a detail, and we start with the current page. We get them all from the bottom left. We have the selected employee, and we want to show the employee name at first. Then we are going to show the department which is linked to it, and then we are going to show the company that is linked to it. We've got detail, current page, bottom left, selected employee, the department that is linked to it, and in this case we would like to show the department name. And finally also the company name. So bottom left, email, employee is linked to department, department is linked to company, and we would like to show the company name. There you go. So these three details are all being derived from the selected employee on the bottom left. So let's publish, fill out some information, and see how it looks. And don't forget, of course, to add all the different user flows to the appearance. Okay. To the dashboard, publish. Okay, so we're done publishing. Let's go to the actual application, fill out a few companies, fill out a few departments, fill out a few employees, and I can show you after that how it all links together. So for instance, as a company, let's say Triggre. And let's also create the company, let's call it just company. We also have departments, so we have the department of the company Triggre, which is called finance. And we also have Triggre HR. And at the company, we have the department name operations. And we have the department name service desk. Okay. And now let's link some employees to them. So we have the department finance, employee 1. We have the department HR, employee 2. We're also going to add employee 3 to finance, by the way. 3. And finally, we're going to add employee 7 to operations and employee 8 to service desk. Okay, so as you can see, we've got 2 employees linked to the department finance, and all the other departments only have 1 employee. So let's see how that looks when we link it all together. So we have a company, Triggre, we selected, and we only see the department names linked to Triggre. So that's 2. If I would select company, you only see operations and service desk. Go to Triggre, we say finance, and then you can see employee number 3 and employee number 1. But if we would select HR, you only see employee number 2. So we go to finance, and we select, for instance, employee number 3. And there you go. Employee number 3 is linked to finance, is linked to company Triggre. Enjoyed it? Hit like or subscribe.